Okay, I'm still on this topic of happiness because I think it's fairly relevant. I think it's what a lot of people are looking for. The Dalai Lama says we have one purpose in life, and that is to be happy. And for so many people, it seems so damned elusive that I can't imagine that it is a purpose, but I know that it is. Right? So we went to dinner, lunch, business lunch with a friend of mine, he and his wife, and apparently at the beginning of the lunch, I just said to her, "What do you want?" Because that's one of my key questions. And she answered me, and then we got talking about some other business, and she came to the table and left the table, came to the table and left the table. And then finally came back to the table, and she said, "How often do you do this?" And I said, "I have business lunches fairly often." She said, "No, this." And I said, "Now I don't know what you're talking about." She said, "I've been in and out of the bathroom several times, and I'm crying like crazy in there." She said, "I'm so sad." And I said, "What makes you think I did it?" She said, "Well, you asked me that question," and I answered. And I said, "Okay, the question was, what do you want?" And your answer was, she said, "I want happiness." I said, "It's what everybody wants." I said, "But what has happened is the heart chakra, you learn emotions on different levels. And if you've learned so much conflict and sadness in your life that takes up this chakra, then a lot of your memory in there is used up for sadness and you can't experience your own happiness." So for a lot of people, and I'm not one of those people who likes people to emote, that's their business, they want to do that stuff, but a lot of times in the class I do, sadness comes up and out of a person. We have exercises to allow it to come up and out, because if you hold it in there, it kind of recycles. Now, we recycle everything, plastic included, but the emotions recycling adds more to the RAM memory of the inefficient emotions. Let's say that. There's nothing wrong with them, they're just a little inefficient. It's more efficient to be happy than it is to be sad. So what she had done, when she acknowledged what she wanted, her system started to allow these emotions to come up and out. She was being really efficient about it. She would get up, leave the table, go, get a lot of the sadness up and out. And so I talked to her, I said, just be curious about the sadness now. Don't know what the sadness is about. Just know that you've learned it at some point in time. It's gone in as sadness memory. And if you pin it on anything, it's going to stay pinned on that. Oh, my dog died 2 months ago, or my favorite lover left me, or whatever, you've pinned it on. That's going to cause a tag that's going to keep the emotion in the system, if you know it purely for what it is. Okay? When in my training, at one point, I had some really, really great trainers working with me, John and Deborah and Martin and Gigi, and a lot of sadness was coming up out of my system. Nicole had left with the kids, 2 of the kids, and I was blaming the sadness on that. And I'm crying horribly in the jungles of Hawaii, and I said, Nicole left me, and there's a voice from one of the 4, and I know who it was, and I'm not gonna, and he said, "Well, yeah, she has taste." So there's part of me laughing at the absurdity of it, thinking, yeah, that's right, she must have taste if she left me. I said, "But she took my kids, And another voice said, "Yeah, well, she doesn't want you raising them right now." Because of who I was being. And I was being put into this absolutely paradoxical space of seeing the sadness for what it was, this absurd learned emotion, and taking it completely seriously because it was happening to me. Right? What they say, comedy is, the definition of comedy is when it's not happening to you. Right? So happiness is fragile. Happiness, you got to see for yourself how to do it again. And once you see it, then you've got to stay vigilant about maintaining your own happiness.